Hello there, I'm Celeste. I've worked in education for over 15 years. I've taught in mainstream schools and special needs schools, and currently I'm a private autism consultant. Now recently I've been doing a course on neurological development in early years, and I found it really fascinating, all of the new research about brain development. Now, as you all know, our brain looks a little bit like this, and it's got a left hand side and a right hand side, or the two hemispheres of the brain. Years ago, scientists used to believe that people are either left-hand brained, left hemispheric, or right hemispheric. You're either left-brained or right-brained. But they now know that that's not the case. We are all whole-brain people. We use both sides of our brain for different tasks and at different times. Scientists also used to believe that some tasks require only the left-hand side of the brain or the right-hand side of the brain. So, for example, they would say that our left-hand brain left hemisphere is used only for logical things. So if you are reading, writing, doing maths, anything that's really logical and analytical, you would only be using the left-hand side of your brain. But now they know that that is not the case. Almost every single task we do requires the input from both the left and the right side of our brains, okay? Now, sometimes those two sides cannot always work together as well. So if that is the case, then maybe one side is a lot more dominant and the other one is not working at all, and that's where problems come in. So specifically with things like dyslexia, dyspraxia, autism and other learning difficulties, that can often be the case. Good news is that's not how it has to stay. Because of brain plasticity, we can develop our brains. We can form new synapses. We can form new neural connections. Okay, so a lot of exercises can really help with this. And some of the exercises that I'm going to show you is what we call sensory integration or hemispheric integration activities, where we get the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the body to work together so that the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the brain can connect and work together and form some pathways that if you keep exercising and make those connections really strong, they stay there for life. Okay, so some of these activities are easier and some are harder. So I've divided them up into level 1, level 2 and level 3. And they are in different little videos. If you are neurotypical, if you don't necessarily have a lot of difficulties with reading, writing and maths and with motor activities and so on, you might want to start at level 2 or level 3. But if you are having some difficulties with your hand-eye control, for example, with motor movements, dyspraxia, for example, with tying shoelaces, things like that, where your left hand and right hand need to work together, then I would suggest starting at level 1. Now, saying this, although it is fantastic and essential for children with learning difficulties to do these activities, it is not just for them. Anybody will benefit from doing sensory integration activities. In fact, I really wish that every school in the country, in the world, would do some brain breaks in between their lessons and just do 1 or 2 minutes of these activities, because building those pathways for every child will strengthen the connection between the hemispheres of their brain and help them with activities like reading, writing, maths, and almost every other task that we can possibly do, okay? Because we need both sides to work together, and the better they can work together, the better you get at the task, the more effective your brain function is. All right, so I'm doing these activities from my own home. You might occasionally hear my bunny scratching around. I'm adding some visuals to help just to remember what the different tasks are. They're hand drawn and I am no Picasso, so they might look a little bit ridiculous at times. And I am still learning some of these activities myself, especially when it comes to level 3. They do go a little bit wrong sometimes, but we are learning this together and going through it. So I wanted to share this because when I started researching about these sensory integration activities and I looked on the internet, there wasn't actually a lot out there. So I wanted to make it more accessible so that more of you can use it and use it with children. So have a look at the videos for level 1, level 2 and level 3 and see where the ones are that you find difficult or that your children find difficult, and then practice those ones anytime that you have a little bit of free time, whether it's waiting in line somewhere, whether it's in the car for the kiddies in the back, whether it's you're watching a television episode and maybe there's a advertisement break. Those are great opportunities to quickly go, let's try one of these activities really quickly. Let's get up and do a little bit of movement, and your body and your brain will thank you for it. Okay, so thank you for watching and I hope you enjoy the videos.